Hi everyone, it's Graham again and welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with part 2 of my November book haul. I am so excited for the books I'm about to show you. I literally cannot believe I found these in a charity shop. I have 4 books to show you and let's just get into it. So the first book, I'm so excited. All these books are the same, well they're not the same book, they're from the same publishing house, and you've probably seen from the title of the video and from the thumbnail on the video that what these books are, but I'm just so excited, I can't believe it. So the first one is Miss Buncle's book by D.E. Stevenson, and of course these are Persephone books. I can't believe it. You never or hardly ever find Persephone books in charity shops, especially not in Dundee, and especially not with all of their bookmarks. All 4 of these books have their bookmarks, and I'm so excited. The end papers of this one are absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, I think this one was first published in 1934. Yep. The end papers are taken from flower vase lit by rays from a table lamp, a screen printed cotton, and rayon designed by Vanessa Bell for Allen Walton Textiles in 1934. I wonder if that's the Vanessa Bell that was around when Virginia Woolf was. Possibly. This was published as a Persephone book in 2008, and this is Persephone book number 81. With the Persephone books, you don't tend to get a blurb as such. It's more a paragraph from the story, so I shall read you that. The parcel of books from the library was on the table. Sarah undid the string and turned them over with her long, thin fingers. What had they sent this time? She rejected a fat biography and dipped into a historical Rishoff. Too dull. She was not in the mood for improving literature tonight. Something light and amusing would pass the time better. What about this one? Disturber of the Peace by John Smith. She took it up and sank into the doctor's chair. It was the more comfortable of the two, for John's weight had broken some of the springs and flattened out the others, whereas Sarah's chair was still in its pristine state of bulgy hardness, despite her 5 years' occupancy. She laughed softly, and Nell stirred in her sleep and raised her beautiful head. You know, Nell, you miss a lot by not being able to read, Sarah told her. These people are real, live people. They are quite delicious. She read on. She couldn't help reading on. It might be Silverstream, she thought. And I can't wait to get to this. So I've heard so many good things about Miss Buncle's book by D.E. Stevenson, and now I have it in a Persephone edition, and I'm so excited. So the next one is yet again another Persephone, and this is Miss Buncle Married by D.E. Stevenson. I just can't believe my luck with these because they all have their bookmarks, and the inside, the end papers of this one look like that, and it's just beautiful. This was first published in 1936. It was published by Persephone in 2011, and it is Persephone book number 91. The end papers are taken from a 1936 Liberties printed cotton crepe dress fabric, and it's courtesy of the V&A Images Victoria and Albert Museum, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's so pretty. Again, I shall read you the inside. I like the name, said Arthur. I like the name of the book very much indeed. It goes very well with The Pen is Mightier, and is quite in the John Smith tradition. You will make a lot of money out of the book, Barbara. But it mustn't be published, cried Barbara, sitting bolt upright in bed and gazing at him with horror-stricken eyes. I never meant it to be published. Not published, exclaimed her publisher in amazement. No, no, no. How could you think it, Arthur? But why? Because we should have to leave Wandlebury. We should have to leave the Archway House, and it would break my heart. They would recognise themselves, and we should have to leave. And even if they didn't, I should always be thinking that they were going to, and I should never have another peaceful moment. You've no idea what it was like at Silverstream. The strain nearly wore me out. It sounds so melodramatic and up my street, and I can't wait. And again, I've heard lots of good things about Miss Buncle married. So the second one is one that I've not heard anything about, but I didn't have it in my own Persephone collection, so I picked it up. It's, I'm about to drop the bookmark. So it's Doreen by Barbara Noble. The end papers are glorious again, and again it has its own bookmark. The end papers look like that and are just beautiful. This one was first published in 1946. It's Persephone book number 60, and it was published by Persephone in 2005. And then this is a reprint from 2011, so it must have been quite a popular one. I don't know very much about this one because I haven't heard anything about it, but I shall read you the inside passage. Running her hand down Doreen's woolen stockings, Mrs. Rawlings sighed sharply. What darns! Real botches they were. She'd have to cut them out and do them over again. Does that Lucy mend your clothes? She asked. Doreen looked up from her book, surprised. No, Mrs. Osborne mends them for me. Well, I'm sorry for Mr. Osborne if she darns his socks like she's darned these stockings. Shocking they are. I'll have to do them all over again. Doreen sat very still, but her face, from forehead to neck, grew slowly scarlet. That's a mouthful. And her eyes filled with tears. Mrs. Rawlings, unnoticing, snipped away angrily with her scissors. Little bits of wool fell to the floor beside her. I think you're very unkind, Doreen said at last in a strangled voice. I think it's very unkind to say that about Mrs. Osborne's darning. She hates darning. She only does it because I can't do it myself. I don't mind if they're a bit bumpy. Her voice shook. So that's Doreen by Barbara Noble. Another book that I'm excited to add to my Persephone collection. So the last one, you'll be glad to know, in this part 2 of my November haul of Persephone books, which I'm just over the moon about. I still can't believe it. This is Because of the Lockwoods by Dorothy Whipple. Dorothy Whipple is one of the most popular writers that Persephone publishes, and I still haven't read anything by Dorothy Whipple. Shockingly, I haven't read very many of my Persephones, which I don't understand. Yeah, I clearly have no taste. So the end papers look like this. It still has its bookmark. Oh, damaging it here. I don't want to do that because that would upset me. This was first published by John Murray in 1949. It is Persephone book number 110, and it was published by Persephone Books in 2014. The end papers are taken from Chestnut, which is a screen-printed cotton designed by Mary Bryan for Edinburgh Weavers in 1949. So that's courtesy of V&A Images, Victoria and Albert Museum. And I shall read you again the inside. You don't mean to say you think that's a good colour or a good design, said Thea, roused, pointing to the topmost rug whereon pinwheels and snakes were imposed in violent green and magenta on an ochre background. It's clean and it's new, said Oliver Reed firmly. Oliver Reed? When you've lived with... I'm going to start again. You don't mean to say you think that's a good colour or a good design, said Thea, roused, pointing to the topmost rug, whereon pinwheels and snakes were imposed in violent green and magenta on an ochre background. It's clean and it's new, said Oliver Reed firmly. When you've lived with everything old and shabby about you, the first thing you ask is that what you are buying shall be clean and new. But if it had been a plain colour with a border, it would still have been clean and new, wouldn't it? Ah, but it would have been dear. You can't get good colours in cheap things. Why? That's what seems so awful. Why? She sighed and went on around the table. It's sad that you, with all your energy, should be spending it in buying up and distributing things like this. It's sad so many of us have to get our livings in ways that aren't half good enough. And that sounds really exciting. So that is my Persephone book haul, which I am so excited about. I'm so happy to add these to my collection, and I'm awestruck that I found these in a charity shop. There were lots more, but these were the only 4 on the shelf of Persephone's that I didn't have, so I had to pick these up. And I just love them, and I don't feel guilty because I was supporting charity. It was Oxfam Bookshop, so I'm supporting Oxfam. Persephone, the publisher, will have received money for the sale of these previously when they were bought new, hopefully. So yes, that is my rambling Persephone book haul. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and again, thank you so much for your support. It means so much to me. Whatever you're doing, I hope you have so much fun doing it. Whatever you're reading, I hope you love it. Stay fabulous, be amazing, be yourself, stay safe, and I'll see you again soon for another video. Bye bye.